On the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz comes an unprecedented exhibition about one of history's darkest moments. Auschwitz, not long ago, not far away, features more than 500 original objects, first-hand accounts, and survivor testimonies that tell the powerful story of the Auschwitz concentration camp, its history and legacy, and the underlying conditions that allowed the Holocaust to happen. On now exclusively at ROM. Tickets at rom.ca.
Tell me, what's this thing with
Sobeys?
Sobeys? Yeah, what's all that about?
What is it?
Yeah.
Basically, we're closing our kitchen for Passover, right? We're closing our kitchen for Passover.
Yeah.
That's the voice of Justin Lesnick, the CEO of the Olive Branch kosher supermarket in Thornhill, explaining to a customer why he decided to go public with allegations that his new store is the victim of a corporate bullying campaign by the long-established Sobeys kosher market right down the street, a store that's been serving the Jewish community for nearly 40 years. Late Friday afternoon, Lesnick's store put out a statement to their nearly 10,000 followers on social media. It said a number of his kosher caterers told Lesnick they could no longer supply meals for Olive Branch's first ever Passover pop-up takeout stand set to open this week because Sobeys had threatened to cut them off completely if they did. Lesnick told me later that one caterer apparently agreed, while another told Sobeys they wouldn't cooperate. He also told me that events escalated into an in-person shouting match between him and the Sobeys store manager, neither of whom is Jewish, by the way. Lesnick's statement went out just a few hours before Olive Branch closed for the Sabbath, and one day before stores were set to open for the pre-Passover Midnight Madness shopping rush. The news spread through the community. Lots of outraged comments on social media, including calls to boycott Sobeys, including the kosher store that served the area since 1987. And even though Sobeys' head office had heard about the controversy and quickly issued a statement, which you'll hear later in our show, that this is not how they do business and that they would rectify any issues, community members are asking whether it's a true picture of how the grocery business operates in the battle for the lucrative pocketbooks of Jewish customers. Or was this a brilliant marketing coup by a savvy retailer at the most crucial time of the year for kosher grocers? I'm Ellen Besner, and this is what Jewish Canada sounds like for Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. Welcome to the CJN Daily, a podcast of the Canadian Jewish News, made possible in part thanks to the generous support of the Ira Gluskin and Maxine Granofsky-Gluskin Charitable Foundation. And before we get into today's story, I want to let you know about the CJN's new fully reimagined print magazine. It's called Scribe Quarterly. It's a beautiful, innovative work of Jewish journalism, catering to the Canadian Jewish community, and it's completely free. Just sign up today at thecjn.ca/subscribe. The Olive Branch opened 5 months ago in the Promenade Mall. The new upscale kosher food emporium was backed in part by American investors from the kosher food industry there, the same folks from the chain Evergreen Kosher and Gourmet Glatt in New York State, who were also behind the salvaging a few years ago of a Toronto kosher business called Hartman's, now rebranded as Savers, with stores further south in Toronto. And these investors also helped open a store in Montreal called Fooderie. Before Olive Branch was launched, Justin Lesnick ran the Fresh Co. at Bathurst and Steeles, which is actually a division of Sobeys. And before that, he ran the No Frills on Centre Street, both with large Jewish clientele. Sources told the CJN that the animosity between Lesnick and the kosher Sobeys branch manager is well known. One source with knowledge of the situation says sales were down at kosher Sobeys because Olive Branch is cutting into the business. The whole situation is terrible, the source says, because Sobeys did wonders for the community. Sobeys' manager was not present at his store on Saturday night when I went there. He wasn't there the first part of the week either, and Sobeys' head office didn't confirm all of Lesnick's allegations, but sent us this emailed statement.
Thank you for reaching out. We can assure you that any attempt to impact distribution to Olive Branch does not reflect how we do business at Sobeys Inc. Since learning of these allegations, our team has worked quickly to understand what occurred and how to best address the matter to ensure that community stakeholders are treated with fairness and respect. We can assure you that our supplier partners are free to supply their products to any customers they so choose. We strongly support local suppliers, value our relationships with our supplier partners, and fully respect their rights to partner with other grocers as they see fit. We will be speaking directly to Olive Branch and any affected suppliers to clarify our position and rectify any issues.
I did reach out to 2 of the impacted caterers for comment. Eli's declined. I visited both stores on Saturday night to gauge the reaction for myself. First, Olive Branch,
Don't hit my foot.
Okay, sorry, I'm not gonna...
where it was so packed. The shoppers were lining up their carts end to end. I interviewed Justin Lesnick, the CEO, in one of the back stock rooms.
Perfect. So what happened? So we made a decision to close our kitchen for Passover, and then we worked with the COR and Manny from Ellie's Catering down south, and we advertised in our flyer this week that we would be closing our kitchen, and we had support from Ellie's. We had all of our products planned, all of our orders done. Everything was planned to come in next week. And on Friday morning of last week, Manny from Ellie's Catering received a phone call from the store manager at Sobeys located at Clark and Hilda, and he was told and threatened that if he sold us anything for Passover, that he would no longer do business there and his 10-year business at Sobeys would be gone. So Manny reached out to us and came and told us the news that his livelihood was basically in jeopardy if he followed through and provided us the products that he told us. So unfortunately, he had to make the decision, and he told us he can no longer provide us food. I don't hold anything against Manny. He's a small business. It's not his fault. In my opinion, he's a victim. Again, this is not how business is done. It's against the Code of Ethics. It's against the Better Business Bureau Code of Conduct. And unfortunately, that's what happened. So we now have no prepared food for Passover planned. Hopefully, after all the support, I think Sobeys corporate office, when they find out what happened, they will handle the situation appropriately. Using dominance of power as a large corporate retailer against a small business is unethical and not right. So I have full confidence that when Sobeys corporate office finds out, I would really hope that they address the issue. They call Manny from Eli's Catering, apologize to him, make sure that he knows that in no way, shape, or form should he be penalized for making a living and supplying small grocery stores like us. And hopefully all of this goes away. So hopefully with all the community support, this won't happen, and Sobeys won't be able to do this to anybody else, vendors, stores, anybody alike. So that's basically it.
What I want to understand, and the community should understand, this is a local decision. This isn't head office in Stellarton, Nova Scotia, right? That's deciding who gets in and who doesn't. As far as you understand, this is...
I have no idea, but I can't confirm that. All I know is our vendor was told by Sobeys that he cannot supply us.
Is it only 1 or 3 or 4? How many did you have that are in jeopardy?
Multiple, but right now the main focus is prepared food for Passover from Eli's Catering.
Right? You've been in this business a long time. Is this the first time you've faced this kind of kosher wars?
Yeah, this is the first time that I've ever encountered a situation like this. It just doesn't happen. There's a code of ethics for a reason. Competition Bureau has very strict guidelines that all retailers must follow. It's actually a law. This isn't just a rule. It's not a policy. It's not a suggestion. This is actually a law. Using your, your power and using your size to be dominant in a marketplace is, again, it's against the law.
This is right before Passover.
Correct. Yeah. And like I said,
why go public with it? Why not get the rabbis involved or get, the politicians involved? Why go and put it out Friday afternoon?
I put it out as soon as it happened. Like, I have thousands and thousands of customers who've been shopping here and supporting us since we opened. We've advertised locally through our Instagram, through Facebook, all over the media that we'll be supplying our customers Passover prepared food options by Eli's. And now I have to go out and tell thousands and thousands of people that we can no longer do that. I didn't expect this type of response and this type of support from the community, but hopefully this will help Sobeys make the right decision and do what's right, and fix what they did.
Can you tell me what the orders look like? For an example, is it like a Seder dinner with all the fixings, or is it like the takeout stuff that people pick up last minute? You know,
Every single Passover prepared food option that we were going to carry was planned with Eli's.
So for example,
And Sobeys knew that because they saw it in our flyers. That's what makes this all the worse.
turkey, meatballs,
Everything prepared food, every single thing that's prepared in a kitchen was going to be provided to us by Eli's.
Can you tell me what financial hit that would be?
It doesn't matter. Large, very large.
This is your busiest time of year. That's why you opened 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And
It's not.
what was at stake for you?
It has nothing to do with money. It has to do with the fact that at the busiest time of the year, at the most important holiday of the year, for a demographic of customers who eat a certain type of food based on their religion, not just by choice. Now, our local store, which caters directly to this kosher clientele, to the Jewish clientele, cannot provide our customers the food that they need, not the food that they want, the food that they need for the most important holiday of the year.
You're doing this when the tariffs are on, and Passover food got a bit of an exemption from the tariffs, but not everything is exempt. How much worse does this impact your store when you're thinking about the last few weeks of getting Passover stuff here that's affected by tariffs? So the pricing, right?
Yeah, pricing hasn't been affected. That's not the issue right now. It's literally just about servicing our customers, making sure they have everything they need for this holiday.
Could you get everything you needed in terms of the dry goods or what have you before the tariffs?
Yes, everything else is great. Access to products is great. Yes, everything access to products has been great. All of our vendors have been great. The all of our suppliers and local suppliers and small Jewish businesses that we work with and support, like Eli's, have been amazing. And that's really the backbone of this store. This is a community store. This store is very involved in the community. We give 1% back to the community. We're involved with all the schools, all the synagogues, all the charitable organizations. That's why this really hurts. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. It really hurts.
This is a good marketing thing too, because you're busy now, right? So
yeah.
I wonder why go public. It's a Jewish community. People don't usually wash dirty laundry, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we went public for a reason, to stand up to corporate bullying. It's unacceptable. Too many times things like this get swept under the rug and people don't see what happens behind the scenes. There's a lot more to this story, and maybe it will get out, maybe it won't. But I can only be pushed back into a wall for so long. My job is to protect my staff, protect my customers, protect my community, and there's no chance that I will ever allow anyone, never mind just Sobeys, to get in my way of doing what I set out to do when we designed this store, when I had a dream to build this store. We have a lot of people involved, a lot of investors, a lot of supporters, and we have a mission. We have a mission to service this community, give back to the community, and we're not going to let someone like Sobeys or anybody stand in our way.
So nobody's doing this to take you down because you're like the David and Goliath type of thing, right?
I don't know.
This isn't a revenge thing?
I don't know.
Is there anything you want the community to understand going forward? Are there layoffs going to happen, that you hired staff to do this, now they're not going to be working?
If tonight is any reflection of what is going to be the result of recent actions by Sobeys, I think we'll be perfectly fine. This just goes to show you the power of community and the strength of togetherness. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. I think that moving forward, people are going to look and think differently on where they shop and how they shop. And I think that this is going to work out quite well for us. And, I think good things happen to good people, and we're trying to do good things, and I think things work themselves out.
Okay, thanks so much for speaking to me on the CJN Daily.
Perfect.
On the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz comes an unprecedented exhibition about one of history's darkest moments. Auschwitz, not long ago, not far away, features more than 500 original objects, first-hand accounts, and survivor testimonies that tell the powerful story of the Auschwitz concentration camp, its history and legacy, and the underlying conditions that allowed the Holocaust to happen. On now exclusively at ROM. Tickets at rom.ca.
Some customers said they came to Olive Branch that night especially motivated by what they'd learned on social media. Hey guys, I'm with the Canadian Jewish News. Hi. Yeah. Did you ever shop there before? Sobeys?
Very rarely. I very rarely shop at Sobeys.
But because I saw that they were having a dispute, I said, tonight I'm coming to Olive Branch.
How do you guys feel about this?
If they really did tell the distributors not to sell to them, it's terrible. And they should take them to a Dean Torah. They should actually take it to a Jewish Beit Din, Jewish court of law. And
Bet Dean, yeah.
Right.
yeah, and have them settle it there.
Why do you think that's the best solution?
Because it's a Jewish issue.
So you think that there was a good thing that he went public with this?
Yes.
Absolutely, for sure. You can't keep something like this private. Otherwise it festers. It's better to be out in the public. People can hear about it, they comment as we're doing, and then people will decide.
And what's your opinion now? What do you think that you're going to come here?
It's a shame that it happened, but the fact that it did happen, there shouldn't be this kind of animosity. We have enough sinat chinam, we have enough Jew hatred throughout the world. We don't need it from ourselves. We should settle bestly, civilly, as best as possible, without any.
And what they said, what the Olive Branch said, Sobeys, if they wanted the business, they should have had reduced their prices and said, come to us. Right? They could have reduced their prices. They could have made some kind of deal that people could come shop with them. Nobody wins. Absolutely nobody wins.
And how menschlichkeit is important, and it wasn't handled properly. That's the part of the problem.
Especially so close to Pesach, when people. I wasn't planning on buying prepared foods from here, but there were people who were planning on buying prepared foods. So what are they supposed to do now? Right?
Okay?
Oh
I
yeah,
wonder if I can just, I don't need your names, just get me, what's your opinion about it?
terrible. Like it's awful, and shouldn't be allowed to do that. And I think that we should not go to Sobeys and come here. Is that good?
Thank you. Yeah. I just want to know what you saw the posting that they
Yeah.
posted about Sobeys?
And I don't think, I don't know about the rules and regulations in terms of competition, but I think they do exist, but people are allowed to shop where they want, right? Like if you go to buy furniture, you can go and shop, and they could be the same manufacturer. The same thing is, for example, now the Bay is different, but if you go to any grocery store and you shop for the same product, you can go and choose where you want to go. So here, it's as if Sobeys is trying to force people to not shop here, shop there, in order to go for those companies that they have a contract with, and it doesn't make sense. It never happens. Like if you go to Costco, for example, you buy toilet paper, Charmaine, you go to each store and you go and do your price check, and that's it. So you can shop around.
What does this mean to the Jewish community when you have, right before Pesach, you have this ugly thing that comes out in the news?
To me, do they do that with any other culture? No. I've never seen it in the news or anything like that. So like right before, this is too odd. And Sobeys is not owned by anybody that's Jewish, that as far as I know. Yeah, and it's discriminating, and they're forcing you, like the people have choices where they want to shop. Who they want to shop with.
Does this mean you're going to change your shopping habits now because of this?
I always come here anyways, but yeah, if I did.
But before they open, where did you go?
Before they opened, like around Passover time, I would go there. But since they opened, I find that their products, their meat, it's catered, right? And then if you need any kosher products that are not sold here and you want to give them the input, they bring it. They brought some from Israel. They brought some from the U.S. that you can't get at Sobeys. It's a specialty store. It's like is it called Whole Foods?
Yeah.
It's like
Caterers, whatever.
Yeah. So do we have? This is the only one in Canada that I'm aware of. So why, and with everything happening now, with the war and everything, like it's just too forcing us to. It doesn't make sense, especially now.
While things were still hopping at Olive Branch, I drove over to Sobeys, it's 1,500 meters away, to see how their Midnight Madness sales were going. It was 11:30 p.m., but you could have thrown a bowling ball down the produce aisle and hit just one or two customers. However, the customers I did meet told me it was the hunt for the lowest prices that was their deciding factor. And both had already visited Olive Branch too. What do you make of all this?
Well, if what I heard was accurate, I don't really feel it's right, whatever has been done. But I think things have been done by both groups. And I don't know, the Jewish community should come together. Yes, the Olive Branch has been competition for Sobeys, but Sobeys kind of needed some competition, to be completely frank. And I don't think it's right what I've been told that they were doing, which I don't want to get into specifics because maybe I'm not right about what I heard. It was posted on Facebook. But really, the people managing these stores, everybody should come together instead of looking how to gouge the customer.
Right.
The prices have become insane, and people that are calling deals are not deals.
So why did you come here tonight? And you went to both.
I went first here. They actually had a great sale on the Sally Lemon cake, which is what I was looking for. That was $15 less, nowhere else. Yes, here at Sobeys. And the chicken soup, and I wanted to just see what else. I was out actually getting a warming plate at Israel's Doncaster, so I came back here and then...
Okay, that's you. You got to answer the phone.
Okay.
So I'm covering the story about the dispute. You saw what happened in the social media about Sobeys versus the Olive Branch. What do you make of this, and then why did you come to both?
I mean, I always come to Sobeys. Sobeys has been supporting the community for years and years and years. And everybody wants a deal on Passover, so I'm going to go to both stores. I think both stores should be around. Also, who knows what the story is? I don't know what the whole story is.
Was it surprising to see it on Instagram, or how did you see it?
I mean, I'm happy it was on Instagram. So many times we operate in the shadows and we keep things quiet, and, it's important. You have to blow it up. Don't let anybody push you around.
Do you ever buy the prepared products, or you're making everything at home? Not even meatballs, nothing? You do everything? Good for you.
I don't buy any prepared food ever.
Just coleslaw.
I buy donuts. We're very big donut
for Passover?
people. No.
I was going to say.
We buy donuts, bread, whatever, stuff like that, but prepared food never.
So who has better prices, this store or the other store?
I haven't been inside here yet. I'm shocked that people are so quick to just even when Olive Branch opened, oh, it's nice. It's nice. They're very nice there. Everybody's very nice. It's people are nice. Their customer service is amazing. They can use some help over here. But there's also really nice people here. I come here. I know the meat guy. He's he knows what I want. He's oh, look, this is good. This is fresh. Look, we just got this, So it's just not, I'm just not extreme like that. It's just not my style to just shop in one place.
So you're not going to
I'm
boycott.
still going to go to No Frills, and I'm still going to go here, and I'm still going to go to Costco, and I'm still going to go to MVR. At the end of the day, they're out for themselves, but I'm also out for myself,
How many? You have a big family, I assume. Then you have to
3
find
kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to organize.
Yeah.
Especially now, Pesach prices are crazy.
Yeah. And when you work for the Jewish community, you also need to find a good deal,
Is that when you work for the Jewish community? What do you do?
I will not say now.
Okay. On Monday, Olive Branch announced they'd heard from Sobeys head office. They said apologies were given to them and to the affected kosher suppliers too, although we can't confirm this. And the Olive Branch's Passover takeout counter, it's back on. But this case may not be over. Olive Branch is asking the Federal Competition Bureau to investigate Sobeys' alleged anti-competitive trade practices. And that's what Jewish Canada sounds like for this episode of the CJN Daily, made possible in part thanks to the generous support of the Ira Gluskin and Maxine Granovsky-Gluskin Charitable Foundation. We want to hear from you about this story. Write to us at info@thecjn.ca. Our show is produced by Zachary Judah Kaufman and Andrea Varsany. Our executive producer is Michael Freeman. Editorial director is Mark Weisblatt. And the music is by Dov Beck-Levine. Thanks for listening.
On the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz comes an unprecedented exhibition about one of history's darkest moments. Auschwitz, not long ago, not far away, features more than 500 original objects, first-hand accounts, and survivor testimonies that tell the powerful story of the Auschwitz concentration camp, its history and legacy, and the underlying conditions that allowed the Holocaust to happen. On now exclusively at ROM. Tickets at rom.ca.